Hi YouTube, welcome to the channel. A quick late night spontaneous video I'm making here. Just update the vlog for training wise, and then also a bit of technical difficulties. So actually I'll touch on the technical difficulties first, right? So I've got my GoPro in what's called the medium mod, which allows you to plug in a microphone and a light, and you can charge it up, and then you can put it onto the tripod. So I've got that over there. Today I'm trialing 5.3K instead of 4K because I put it into 8.7 size of the screen, so I can see all the way to here and down to here, there and there, instead of 16.9. because I'm not sure if I want to edit horizontally or vertically, because I'm sitting quite up on the bike, so I want to get my head in and maybe show my legs spinning, but also want to see the TV in that way as well. So I thought it might be easier if I get the whole shot in without cutting anything out, and then quickly when I edit the video I might be to zoom in on the bits I want to see without chopping my head out. But then I also saw that 5.3K 8.7 at 25 frames per second uses less memory cards than 4K at 50 frames per second, and you can only do 50 frames per second in 4K. Complicated as blah blah. Trialing the bigger screen shows more view. The problem I had is I've got this GoPro Volta. It's a handle, just hold it like that. It's also a tripod, because you can open up the legs like that. It's also a power bank, it's a battery. So there's a wire, you can plug the wire in, and it's a remote control, so you can press on, off, and change from photo to video. Two things wrong with it. I don't know why, but it's connected as Bluetooth, but it's not working. It's not turning it on and off. The second thing is, when I plugged that wire into the GoPro, it wasn't charging it, and my battery's on about 25%, so I don't know why. There is an extension sort of lead I got for it, that wasn't working, so it's not working as a battery or as a remote, so that's annoyed me. I've been messing around for that last 5 minutes. So I got to reach over and press start and stop, which is a little bit out of my reach, and because I've got a little light on top that's covering the on and off button a little bit, so a bit awkward to reach where I'm on the bike. That's the tech issue out of the way. Updating the vlog then. So last week, complicated, but bear with me, I don't work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday shift pattern in my job, so I can't always bike ride Monday to Friday and do fitness on a 7-day week. So Garmin and Swift and stuff like that, and Strava, it obviously says how many miles or minutes or hours you've exercised per week, but my shift pattern rolls over a different amount of days, so it's awkward. I can't always train on the days I'm working because I'm away. I might have to sleep away from home. So during work, the lucky thing is I sometimes get to go to the gym or swim or bike ride or walk and do some exercise at work, but I can't guarantee that. So what I try and do is, if I know I'm going away for 3 days, I don't know if I'm going to come back at all for them 3 days. I might stay away and I might come back. So what I do is, on the day one, I get up an hour earlier, and I do a turbo training session. Well, now it's summer, I've started maybe go for an hour run in the morning, and I get back at the normal time I'd normally wake up for work, shower, breakfast, change and go. Maybe if I come home that night, I'll do the same again. I'll wake up in the morning on day 2 and I'll exercise the same, go to work, and then usually I'd have to stay then a third day. I don't normally get to come home to 3 days in a row. So day 3 I can't exercise at all, so I'd use that as a rest day, because I know then day 4 I do have to work in the morning, but I come home early in the morning on day 4, so I can exercise sometime on day 4. So I was lucky last week that I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. I did go to work on Tuesday for a couple of hours, but I managed to do exercise before it. So I did do 6 days worth of exercise, and the plan was to try and do 2 hours a day, try and do 14 hours. I think I only did 13 hours something, but on Garmin, actually, if you do over a certain heart rate, Garmin classes it as higher activity, so it doubles it. So it works out, I did about 26 hours of intense exercise last week, which is pretty good. Not my best last year or the year before. I did a few months better. I think last year or the year before I aimed for 800 miles in February, and I did a couple of 100-mile runs in a month. So I've done a few more, I've 1 or 2 months better, but it was the best one in the last 12 months. So it was pretty good. Because I did work the Sunday, but I managed to squeeze an hour in before the Sunday, so I did actually train 7 days last week, almost 2 hours a day. So it was like, I think it's 2 hours a day for 6 days, that's 12, and only 1 hour before work on a Sunday, so I think it's 13, double the 26. But then, so I worked Sunday, I worked the Monday, I couldn't exercise, I worked the Tuesday, today's Tuesday though, but I managed to come home today, so it was before midnight. I got home about 11 PM, so I thought, oh, I might as well squeeze in an hour on Tuesday, because then if I'm going to beat last week's record, I've only got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday before the week changes the next weekend. So I've got 6 days off, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But Monday's going to roll over to next week's hourly totals. So I'm going to try and beat last week's hours in less days. Should be possible. It's doable. 2 hours a day isn't like crazy amount. Loads of people do more than that. But there's a difference between doable, achievable, and practical. I got other things to do. I need to paint the bathroom at one point. There's a few other little DIY jobs I need to do. Some work to do on the laptop. So I can't spend all my life exercising. And then in the next maybe week or two, I need to have a deload week. Well, on purpose I'll do a lot less. I can't keep adding every week. At one point I'm going to have a rest. So, like I said, I only did 1 hour on Sunday, not 2. None on Monday, and then none so far today. I've weighed myself while I'm at work. It's a different weighing scales than my home one. I'm going to weigh like on different surface and stuff. So usually it says 1 or 2 pounds heavier, but my weight has gone up a couple of pounds. And then today, for evening meal, I had gammon or pork or whatever in the bread bun, but I actually had naughty. I had 3 bread rolls. So it doesn't sound crazy, but Last week I was on really low carbs and low calories, so I would have been dehydrated and depleted of all carbs because I trained. Then all of a sudden then I do no exercise with carbs and water, probably more salt as well. So there's no way I've added on. I've actually gone from 173 pounds on the lightest day, when just now I was 182. I haven't put on 9 pounds of fat just in 2 days. What it is, I probably added on 9 pounds of water and carbs and water. And maybe a bit of muscle if you've grown a bit. My legs were aching the last couple of days, but I haven't had a lot of protein really the last few days. But 1 or 2 days of rest, my resting heart rate's gone down a little bit, stress level's gone down. So I'm definitely heavier now today than what it was like Sunday night last week before the 6 days. So tomorrow morning I'll be heavier than last week going into it, but as long as I do more exercise than I did last week, less calories than I ate last week, and general moving, just move more in the week, I'll burn more calories and I should lose more weight than last week. I touched on the last video how I've got an Excel sheet and I'm working out what my projected body weight should be. So I don't need to lose weight than what I was last week. So say I went down to 173, I don't need to be lighter than 173. I need to be I think like 0.4 pounds lighter than what last week's goal was. As long as I do that, I'm back on track. So it doesn't matter what I am on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. As long as on Saturday I'm less than what I planned for, then by August I'll be on target. Keep an eye on the target, go up a little bit, come down a bit. Keep an eye on calorie intake, exercise hours and stuff like that. I know that some days I can't train, so I'll train extra on other days, or I'll add that into my plan of rest days, and I'll have low carbs on some days, higher carbs on other days. But like it's now 12:15, so it's now technically it is Wednesday, but because I started this training session before midnight, hopefully it should log as before midnight. Sometimes with Zwift and Strava, when it's a few minutes before midnight, it ticks over to the next day. Garmin, you can adjust it, and I can alter the time. I could edit it to like 2200, so it would definitely show as yesterday's plan, but on my phone at least I can't edit the Strava time. So if more than half of it at least is in Wednesday's day, it might tick over as Wednesday's exercise. Not too bothered really, because I'm trying to beat my weekly goal, not a daily goal. But it would look better if the class is Tuesdays, because there's another thing, there's a little graph, which shows like how well you do on an average over the year, and every hard day you have exercise, it gives you a point, and then if you miss a day of training, you lose a point. And so you can see overall over the year if you're ahead or behind. But 1 hour of bike maybe adds 1 point. 1 hour running adds like 2 points, because running's harder, your heart rate is higher for longer. But if you miss a day, it comes down by about 3. So obviously if you miss 3 days, it will go down a good 9 points. But you can train for 3 days and it won't go up by a lot. So that's really why I wanted to get the training session in now, to class it as Tuesday, and then Wednesday in the morning, tomorrow afternoon, I'll do another hour or 2 hours. Technically that'll be 3 hours in a 24-hour period, but I'm hoping it classes it as 1 hour on the Tuesday, 2 hours on a Wednesday, so it won't affect my stress, and it tells you how much to rest and stuff. So it might say, oh, you need to rest for 52 hours because you've done 3 hours of exercise. Well, I didn't. Technically it did because it's in a 25 period, but I'm hoping this counts as Tuesdays, that'll count as Wednesdays, and I'll be good. Covered the 16 minutes now, so that's pretty good. I'll wrap it up. Only thing is though, I'm 21 minutes into this training plan, but I've had erg mode turned off. So basically I've done 21 minutes of just pedaling really light, like noodling as it's called, but I'm getting a bit hot. But I don't open the window and put the fan on because you won't hear me talking with the fan on. I want to put my headphones on in a second and then watch a movie or some music. So, as I said, it's gone midnight now. I have taken a pre-workout because I felt a little bit tired at 11 o'clock. I wanted to get a bike in, so it doesn't really affect me, the caffeine in the pre-workout. I'm not buzzing my tits off, but it might keep me awake a little bit. But I worked all day. I've worked 46 hours in the last 2-3 days, so I'm going to sleep if I want anyway. I've got to get up in the morning, but I won't go to sleep for an hour or two anyway. So instead of monging on the chair watching crap TV and falling asleep, I might as well watch something on my Netflix on the bike, get my hour in, burn some sort of calories, even if it's just noodling. But like, I've got to press mute on the TV because otherwise it'll be copyright. So that's actually 18 minutes coming up. I'm going to stop it there. It's now 12:20 in the morning, so I'll do another talk in the day, something else, another topic, but just to let you know, I'm back in it. Today's technically my day 1 of my week. Today's my Monday. See you in a bit. See, I've got to reach over now and press the on off button, which is under the light. But bye for now.